SRO Magazine, your #1 source for music and entertainment news and interviews. SRO.
What you do. So.
Yeah.
Okay, individually, we already got to your influences, Josh, so let's hear everybody else's. Who is your main influence when it comes to the instrument that you play? Like, let's start with you.
For me, lately, I went back and just Dimebag Darrell. By far, some of like anything that I'm writing now, I've been listening to Pantera or any old school metal, Metallica, Tony Iommi, and Black Sabbath, all of them. Yeah, just the kind of stuff that comes out of their guitar riffs and the sound they put out is by far the gnarliest and something that I want to go with, which is a lot cooler with writing this new stuff.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot more technical work as far as guitars and even drums, and that's a lot of my big influences right now.
Kevin?
Shit.
Put him on the spot here.
I guess like Phil has always been. I have so many though. Like it just kind of depends where the song takes me. Like it's every song's a little different, but I guess Corey from Slipknot, Phil from Pantera, Ivan Howard from Killswitch, and even though he's not with Killswitch anymore.
Yeah, he's with Devil You Know now.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of all depends. I mean, recently, I guess a lot of Howard is. I've been listening to a lot of him, just like how he writes his choruses. I was always a fan of him. Like when he was with Killswitch, I love the music that they put out. But you know, like I said, it just all depends. Like I'd love to write lyrics like Corey Taylor, perform them like M. Shadows from Avenged Sevenfold, and be known as the craziest guy known to man as Phil from Pantera. So no, I don't really have one, but you know, all the greats. So.
What about you, Danny?
I'm actually really similar to Ian. Definitely Dimebag. And then I guess when I was growing up, first heavy CD I got into was Deftones, Subtitle, and I think it was Che. And then Metallica, of course. I mean, Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield are just amazing guitar players. Black Album was awesome. And then when I came down to California, it was the first time I heard As I Lay Dying and Thrice, and that kind of steered the direction of a lot of the stuff we write now, Goldish, Avenges. I'm trying to think. But I also love Jimmy Page, David Gilmour.
Ooh, going old school.
Yeah, I love those guys. I mean, Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin are
There's no denying David Gilmour was a fabulous guitar.
Oh, yeah. He was phenomenal. Him and Roger Waters, I think, wrote a lot of that stuff, and they're both just unbelievable, the sounds that they kind of came up with. Jimi Hendrix. I love the old school guys. I really, really do. And then I think Dime was the one that kind of changed my perspective on what kind of sounds can come out of you.
Yeah, he did something completely different.
Oh, yeah.
By far the sickest thing anyone has
Goddamn
ever done.
Electric, I'm Broken.
I still think it's still disrespectful for the fact that Rolling Stone put him at number 80 on the 100 best guitars.
Oh, that's bullshit.
It's a joke.
He should be top 5.
Or if not, top 10.
Yeah, top 10. My book, he'd be top 5 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember exactly who they put up there, but I know Hendrix was number 1.
Hendrix was number 1. I think Page was like 3.
Clapton was 2.
I was about to say, Clapton never gets credit, and I'm sure he got credit on that list.
Yeah,
so.
he did.
Oh, he did, and Clapton's
I love
one of the
Clapton.
best.
I'm a big fan of Clapton.
I love him.
He's phenomenal.
He's not our genre, but still, you can't deny his influence.
I still love that
Cream.
music.
He was in Cream first, and then he did his self.
No, he was in the Yardbirds too.
Yeah, first it was the Yardbirds. This is how it was. First was the Yardbirds, then he went to Cream, then he had a little small stint with Blind Faith.
Oh, he was in Blind Faith?
Yeah, for like one album. This was him and Ginger Baker's next group, and then he was with John the Blues Seekers, and then finally Derek and Domino's. Then he went off to a solo career. So he was like going from band to band. He's like, no, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Cream, and when he did his solo stuff is when he hit his stride. Like, that's some of the songs he put out. I mean, you still listen to today.
Layla's classic.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
Yeah, Sunshine of Your Love.
Sunshine of Your Love. They're all
The Tale of Ulysses, White Robe. You can't deny it because he was phenomenal.
He's phenomenal too.
It sucks they never did a full reunion. that's only because Jack and Ginger hate each other. Eric was the only one. Was the only one who was like, you know, I would love to do it, but they have to get along.
Yeah.
I can't be the referee. But of all the metal acts out there, there are some metal acts that we don't like because of the way they represent themselves or they represent music. Like, who's the one band that you don't like?
Beneath the Buried. No.
They're terrible.
Yeah, why am I interviewing you guys?
No. Shit. You know what's funny is the second that I hate, I'm not a fan of the band, and then I meet them, and then I become friends with them.
Yeah.
It's just. All right. What would you? Let's go one by one. It's Josh.
You know me. I've never been a fan of Slipknot. It's
How
crazy.
dare you.
Comedy,
That's a
whatever
Joey
you want.
Jorgensen.
Yeah, you used to like
dish.
Joey.
No, I never really liked their sound. I never really liked, we're complete opposites on this subject. Like, I've never been a Corey Taylor fan. I've never liked his voice, really. He's not my style, not my thing. And, yeah, Joey's a douchebag, so...
That's
there you go.
blasphemy. Corey Taylor.
Yeah, see, everyone else loves him, and I get it why, but it's the same reason why people don't like bands
see,
I
after
listen
then
to.
you can't now Slipknot changed the game for metal. Basically.
They made it
I did
commercial.
like that one song.
Well, even
was it
not only they
Duality or
didn't
something
make
like
commercials, they had
that?
they had 8 members in their band.
Yeah,
They did different sounds.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, the fact that I just remember when I saw Wait and Bleed
Yeah.
and
Pulse and
Duality,
Magnets.
Pulse and Magnets, but when I saw it on MTV
Vermilion.
in the morning, like,
don't mention MTV.
And-
I can't mention
well,
that
no.
station anymore.
but still, it's when you saw it in the morning and you see a metal band. I mean, Mudvayne, that they paved the way for Mudvayne to be on TV
Yeah.
and have a music video dig. Like, it was just, and that's when Ozfest just took off. I mean, they had the best bands like on there.
Corn was big.
Korn, yeah, I mean, there was a lot of those bands that just kind of like helped the scene, so, like for our generation at least. I mean, Pantera did it for the generation before us, like for the Korns, Stirbs, and all those other bands, and then those bands did it for us, and hopefully we can make some of ourselves. But
Well, I think you will. Ian?
Hard one.
I'm trying to think of
Yeah, right? I'm trying to think of someone I don't like. It's hard. I'm gonna, any of these new like post-hardcore bands with all their synthesizers and fucking
Yeah, I guess
it's all
mine.
just in there.
I'm not big
high-pitched-
into Devil Wears
Yeah,
Prada.
they're high-pitched
Yeah, I think
singing.
that's
It
where
sounds like
we're
little
going.
girls.
Yeah.
It's just all annoying, and I want nothing to do with any
Devil
of
Wears
them.
Prada is kind of. I like some of the music
Yeah.
that they write, but
I
I
hate
think the
his
vocals
vocals.
are stale
Yeah.
and boring, and I don't get the whole some of the
Live, definitely, they're not as strong as they're...
No,
Yeah.
we saw them live and they were not.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can all agree that the one band we definitely hate is Black Veil Brides.
Yeah.
that was actually my answer.
I'm not a fan of Black
That was
Sabbath.
actually my
Who
answer.
is a fan of that band? Retards. There you go.
A lot of 13-year-old girls.
Yeah.
I remember going to a Diamond Metal show taping. I saw this woman right behind me who was like in her 40s or 50s. She's got a Black Veil Brides t-shirt on. I'm like, why do you have that? She's like, what, you got a problem with this band? I'm like, yeah, they suck. It's like, what, go pick up an album. I'm like, I would rather get root canal work done than pick up an album.
To be honest,
Kidding me?
I gave him a chance. I really did.
I tried to.
I
I
bought
tried
the
to,
album.
so.
I
tried to
refused.
listen to 'em.
This whole band, we don't download music. Like, we kind of have a pact not to steal music just because how poor we actually are. So we're on iTunes. I even lowered the price. It's $5 for our album.
I only gave them a chance because they were
Discount.
Going Gods, and I listened to them, and I thought, oh my god, they're awful.
Well, being a great songwriter,
And
sounds
they're
like
flipping off each other all the time. What the fuck is that about?
Yeah.
I think Nikki Sixx just helped them. I mean, I don't think they would be.
He wrote
They
basically
would
all
not-
of Motley Crue's
Yeah,
music
they
by
would not
himself.
be. They would not be.
He
as
is a
popular without
songwriter
Nikki
for that
Sixx.
band.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
So it's like you'd think he'd have, well, I don't know how much influence he had.
I'm not a big fan of anybody walking around with a wireless mic taped to their face either. So that's
There you go.
No, unless you're insane.
exactly. I'm just like, but to each his own. I mean,
I mean, if you're a drummer and you're
every-
singing, then yeah, that's understandable.
They got fun though. I always see those people in the lingerie with the makeup.
Everybody has a preference to music. Like when I was growing up and I was listening to Avenged Sevenfold, it was cool for Waiting to Fall, and then when City of Evil came out, it was lame to like Avenged Sevenfold, and I just get shit for it all the time. And I didn't care. Like it was just I was.
City of Evil was badass.
Yeah, that was one of the best
so
albums.
much shit on that album. I love
The
it.
guitars that came out of that album
Yeah.
were some of the sickest riffs
Yeah.
I've heard in a
The
long
drums
time.
sound awesome. Everyone wanted to tune their snare all tight like the Rev did. in that
Yeah,
album,
everyone's trying to
and
drop
including
it and turn their distortion to
Yeah.
exactly like
Yeah.
they had it in that album.
So like it was not cool to like Avenged Sevenfold, and then they came out with Nightmare, And after
Well, they had the
Nightmare,
White Album.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I still think even then it was still just
Yeah.
like, oh, it's not cool to like Avenged
Because once it hit the radio, everyone was like, "Oh, it's not Avenged
Yeah.
Sevenfold anymore. It's too popular."
Yeah, I mean, I had when I was working at Home Depot, I had a friend there named Travis, who's like a devout death metal fan, like screamo metal, like Dying Fetus.
I know,
man.
And he
know
would
what
say
you're talking
that he hates the new Avenged Sevenfold because he's like, oh, they put down the stuff they used to do. I'm like, that's because everybody's doing it. It's not great anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
about. It's just they're writing what they want to write.
Yeah, I think that was the cool thing about Avenged when they started coming out with these new albums. Nothing was the same. You didn't go
They
back.
tried
and-
something different.
You wouldn't hear an album like, all right, this album sounds like that album, and now all their songs sound the same. Everything sounds completely different.
Although I will say this about the new album. That one song, This Is War, I will say this is a complete rip-off of Savage Road.
Dude, every single song,
Yeah.
every single riff on that album is a
It
complete
was a
rip-off.
rip off of Black Album.
It's a rip off of Savage Root, I think it's Savage Root.
Yeah, that's what I said. Savage
Oh,
Is that what
Road.
you said?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, sad but true. I definitely heard that. Boom, dum, dum, boom.
Yeah.
I was like,
But
oh,
even-
when I was,
even
when I
the
was listening to it, I was like,
vocal
oh my
patterns,
god.
That
His
whole
vocal
album
patterns,
was-
hey, na 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 na.
Yeah,
the whole album
they were like
was
singing
exactly
it
off.
big time, and I was like, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
it
Don't do
was-
that.
That's the music scene in itself, though. I mean, it's you're inspired by somebody and you're gonna write like somebody.
But
Like,
then right after that, Requiem. And
Requiem,
that song
by
is
far the
fucking
sickest
awesome.
song.
but
they have.
you can hear like Danny Elfman influences in there. With,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that song is more true to the Avenged Sevenfold sound than anything they have on that album.
Which one?
Requiem.
Oh yeah, Requiem. For sure.
It's still my favorite song.
That's my
album.
favorite song to see.
When you guys started out, did you guys have like another vocalist, or were you always the vocalist?
We did have another vocalist. His name was Scott.
We've had two vocals.
We one not to be named.
And then
We've had one.
Then you came into the vocals. What happened then?
Well, it's actually. So what happened was we had the band and Ian wasn't in it yet. I was actually the other guitarist in the band, and Scott was our singer. His name was Scott Lau, and he got a job opportunity that took him to Florida, so he had to quit. And so we were gonna try to go with a different sound. We were gonna go more. This is when I was talking about how we were trying to go more like to what everybody was doing at the time, and
Hardcore.
Following a pattern.
yeah,
Hardcore,
and
yeah.
we found this guy. He was a flake, talentless kid that just wanted to be a rock star but didn't want to work for it. Like,
I've
and-
been there.
And to be honest with you, we wasted a good 8 months trying to write around this kid, trying to be something that we weren't. And
After the House of Blues show.
yeah, I remember.
Right,
I'll never
stormed off
forget
stage.
that show. It was the worst show of my career of all time. It was the curtains closed. I played great. Danny played great. Josh played great. Our bass player was in jail.
And this is
Yeah,
the
we
one
had
that's
some
not
mixed-
here right now,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, he was in jail. He might be in jail right now. I haven't heard from him. But he was in jail, and so we had a fill-in bassist who was a crackhead. And
Good.
I'm not
Not a
being a
crackhead.
joke. I'm not joking. He was a crackhead. And our vocalist forgot every single word, and ended up forgetting everything. So he gave the mic out to the crowd, and just had a bunch of people screaming obscenities in the microphone. As soon as the curtain closed, me and Danny threw our guitars. We didn't talk to him, kicked him out the next day, and we were just kind of didn't know what to do. I was sitting in the garage with my brother at my house, and I used to sing growing up. I was in choir and shit like that. I always loved to sing, but it was
Typical choir boy.
yeah, exactly right. And I always, and then I started playing guitar and whatever, so I kind of got out of it. And I was just bullshitting around, like listening to our songs. And Robbie, my brother, heard me and he goes, "You should go record something, see how it comes out." I was like, "Nah, dude, I play guitar." And he was like, "Record tomorrow, I'll pay for it." I was like, "Really?" He was like, "Yeah, call him up." So I called up Love Juice, and that's where we recorded, I think, the album. Right? Yeah, it's terrible. They're good when you start out, but hit them up. I had an appointment the next day. Went in, recorded 3 songs. I was terrified, absolutely terrified to show anybody. It was me hearing my vocals on something that I've heard different vocals on for the better part of 2 years. I showed Danny and Josh first. Josh sitting in the backseat of my car. Danny was sitting in the front. and I just kind of just closed my eyes and closed my ears, and I was just like, I told them to be brutally honest, and I think they were more just taken back. They had no idea what I was doing, so, and they were like, "Is this something you want to do?" type thing, and I was like, "Only if you guys support it." And it just took a while getting used to it because we heard the songs for the same way for so long, and just, I mean, with me, I was probably more terrified than I think they were when they heard it. Like, they heard it, they were just, I think we were all just more relieved that we had a singer, that we could move on now.
But also, it kind of paved the way for a couple of the songs. Masterpiece and The System Has Failed wouldn't have had some of the riffs in them if he hadn't gone in, because he created them that day, kept them because they were so cool. So the Dropout and The System Has Failed, they came up with while they were there, and then the stair-step harmony in Masterpiece came out of it. So in the long run, it was really positive. I think Josh and I were just kind of skeptical, like, is
It's
this really
just
going to
weird,
happen?
you know?
We're going to run with it? And
It's like Kill Switch when you got a new singer. It's like you know how you feel about it. I mean, I know it was the old singer originally, but it's like getting a new singer. You don't know how to feel about it at first. You really don't. You have to listen to it over and over again. Now it's like we can't imagine.
we don't know what we
anything
do
else
with it.
now.
Yeah, we wouldn't know what we would have done if you hadn't done it. We probably would have still been searching for somebody. I don't know. But
There's
then
nobody else out
and
there.
we wouldn't have got Ian, and Ian had really been instrumental in writing a lot of the new stuff with me.
Ian's our youth in this band, man.
He looks young, yes.
He's the youngest, but I'm saying youth-wise, he just brings in the fastest riffs.
Yeah, he picks up where I'm not a shredder. Like, I will be the first one to say I'm not the greatest guitar player, and he compensates for my inability to do that stuff, and we'll come up with killer riffs.
Because Danny compensates for my inability to actually musically write things together.
That's how it's
He's
always
a
been.
musical genius.
We always say Danny's the mastermind, Josh is the best musician in the band, and Ian's the shredder, and I shit on the tracks. and that
Shit all over
Well,
the tracks.
when I did come in here, when I was listening to you guys practice, I did like the twin guitar thing you guys were doing. You guys were playing off each other really well. I mean,
That's one of the new ones we're working on.
that riff that you heard, that was the third time they've ever played it.
Yeah, we
so
just
that-
played.
that-
We just
even
started
if it's the
today.
third time you played it, that is still that's beautiful. It's well done. I mean, do you guys vision yourselves as the next Downing and Tipton? In case anybody doesn't know,
Judas Priest.
that's Glenn Tipton and KK Downing from Judas Priest.
That'd be fucking awesome. I mean, those guys are killer guitar players.
I think me and him are starting to work off each other a lot better now.
Yeah.
Like, as far as being able to play the same kind of riffs and scales together, so you get that kind of harmonized sound.
He's made me better because the stuff that he writes, I kind of forced to learn and figure out harmonies with it. So I've gotten better just by playing with him.
Which is the cool thing, because I'll come up with like a riff in my house and record it on the phone and then send it to him. And then next time we come to practice, he already has his harmonies for it. And he knows the song already. And it just works out.
Poor Danny.
We all
I
forced
mean,
him to be
when I played guitar for this band, the only thing I would write hooks. I would write the main riff of the song, I'd write a chorus, and then I'd bring that to Danny, and I said, make this song, pretty much. That was always the thing. I was like, make this
You were like
sound.
You were like Tom Maxwell from Hell Yeah. He was known more for his groovy hooks than he was for his solos.
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to System Has Failed, like, Masterpiece, like the main riffs of that song, what I came up with, but everything else was Danny. Like that, like anything that you're like, oh, that's kind of a headbanger like thing. That's usually me, and then the Danny was putting everything together and making it actually work. But now, if you listen to the new stuff that we got going, I can't. There's no way I would have been able to write this stuff. Like this is the best stuff that I'm a fan of our music. Like, I get super excited when I hear a new riff come through. Like when these guys are writing, that's how good it is. Like I'm so excited. I feel lucky to sing over these riffs. Like anybody can sound good over these next riffs that they're putting out right now. Like anybody can scream on them. Like that's how good they are. They're so versatile. You can do whatever you want. It's so much fun to work with. So I'm super lucky. What he's been doing on drums is we've been clicking. Pumping out music like we've never done before. We used to sit there and like write a song, switch a little bit, write a song, switch a little bit. And now it's like we hit a song where like, we know what we're doing like automatically. And if we don't, we play it twice, and then we know what we're going to do right after that. So it's just.
I think we've kind of hit our stride when it comes to writing this new music. Like, we'll come up with one riff, and within like hours, we'll have a full song.
Yeah.
That's, we just keep pumping them out.
We got some good momentum going on right now,
Yeah.
for sure.
I think the last 3 songs that we've written have been
A couple days.
a couple days. And we'll come in and we'll have 2 sessions and we'll have them done for the most part. So
Cast and Call, Riot, all of them.
yeah, Cast and Call we wrote in one night.
Yeah.
I had come up with the initial riff and then we sat down.
Now, Brian is not here to talk about what he particularly does with his bass, but how would you describe his sound, what he brings to the band? Besides going to jail and getting shit-faced.
All right.
Hair.
There's just a solid bass player.
He brings the hair.
Legitimately, Brian is
He brings the
he's
stage
solid.
show.
He's just all he is he's constantly on time. He can play whatever we give him. He doesn't really, he doesn't bring too much to the writing process, but he's our beast. Like
We give him free reign. And after Ian and I kind of lay down the basics of the song, we'll give him an idea of what our guitar parts are and say, okay, feel free to expand, feel free to do whatever you want on that. But he's definitely the most interesting person to watch on stage.
Yeah, and that's coming a lot because I do some dumb shit up there,
Yeah,
and that guy goes off. Like
Brian's
he's
definitely our
usually
stage
half
show.
naked before the end of the set, and
I bet the ladies love that.
he has a 6-pack. He looks pretty fresh up there.
Yeah.
He does kind of look like a serial killer.
Yes.
Definitely
Yeah.
looks like an ex-con.
Yeah.
Brian, like, he's been to jail. Brian's had a life, right? He's the oldest member of the band, and he acts like the youngest from
I
time
think
to time.
Brian's-
He's so nice, and he's super sweet, and he's cool to everybody. Anybody that's a fan of our music, he'll stop and give him a hug and give him whatever he has, like pics. He'll sign whatever, take any photo, and just do the craziest shit ever. He's not like Danny or myself when we're done playing a show. It's just we need time to wind down. Brian is just, no, I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Brian's already
immediately
at the bar.
equipment's away, and I'm gonna go hang out with everybody that came party with us. So.
He's the most metal out of any of us out of the
Yeah.
band. Brian's definitely the metal guy. He's the craziest.
Yeah,
guy.
Sounds like a guy to get along with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Brian gets along with everybody.
Okay,
true.
Beneath the Berry. Where did that come from? That's an interesting name.
Sitting on the shitter.
That's actually
musical ideas
Yeah.
come from.
Yeah.
that's I was scrapping when I came up with our band name, but we had a bunch of different band names that we were throwing around,
Yeah.
and when we first started writing, we were writing about horror movies and shit that we liked. It was cool stuff, and bloody gorge, and I was trying to think of something that was. I don't know, that kind of went with that theme. Just the stuff that we like, Night of the Living Dead stuff, and I don't know, Beneath the Buried came in my head, and then I said BTB, and I was just like, that totally fits. And I texted.
BTB.
Yeah.
BTB. Yeah, definitely chant that out.
Yeah.
Watch it
Beneath
first.
the Berry. Beneath the Berry.
Yeah, we shorten it. We thought about changing our name just to BTB.
I think it's good because I feel like if you're gonna have a name, you should have something that the fans are eventually gonna chant in rhythm.
Sticks in your mind,
yeah, or like Kiss, Kiss, and then BTB.
Well, we're
I
actually
almost said
lucky enough-
BET for some reason.
We're actually lucky enough to actually have had that happen
Yeah.
at shows before.
Yeah.
We haven't been able to play songs because the crowd's so
Yeah.
fucking
Did you ever
loud.
play an encore?
We've played a few.
Yeah.
We've played a few. Orange County is great.
It depends on the stage.
Yeah.
The venue lets
House
us,
of Blues
yeah.
will kick you off.
Yeah.
Last time we wanted to, we had to cut our. They turned on the lights and everything. Okay,
Get the
we're
fuck
done.
out this
You know what we did? We still fucking.
You guys are part of Reverb Nation, right?
Yeah.
You guys, I actually interviewed a band recently that played at the Grove when they also opened for Primal Fear. Faded Sun. Do you know those guys?
No.
Huh. Well, this is like a band from LA, and you guys were part of the same label. I thought you may know them. So.
We might have crossed paths, but boys, I don't think we ever got known though.
The Faded Sun.
Faded Sun. Yeah.
I'll check them out.
Yeah, I'll
How did
check
they
it out.
come? How did they come up with their band name?
The lead singer
They're really
told me, basically he was thinking he wanted to be kind of like out of this world, kind of like a Matrix sort of thing. That's it. That was what he was saying. I was like, oh, yeah, sure.
So he took the red pill or the blue one?
Yeah.
How much
Obviously, he
you
took the
close
red.
handshake?
Obviously, he took the red one if he came up with Faded Sun.
There you go.
Well, like, all right, we got time for like maybe 3 more questions, all right? Because I know you guys probably got some things to do. Where do you guys see yourself in, like, say, the next 2 years?
On tour.
Yeah.
Preferably not in California.
Yeah.
Preferably on a dirty bus, not showered for 3 weeks.
Plus, I'm going like Van.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you're
Cuddle with
taking
Danny.
advice from the Zach Wild playbook.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
We haven't done an extensive tour yet, and that's kind of our main near future goal.
Like, where you want to tour?
Anywhere. I mean, if we'll do all California, I'd like to do Seattle, Washington, Arizona, Texas. I know has a metal scene.
Vegas.
We played Vegas. We'd like to just kind of do Southwest, West Coast, kind of just to get our feet wet.
I think what he's trying to say is that anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
It seems
try
like
that.
Vegas, in my opinion, is like one of the best places for a metal band to perform. Doesn't feel like it, but when I was down there, I had that I just got that little metal synergy. Like, it's like an underground success thing.
Well, Sin City.
Plus, there's a metal bar
Yeah.
down there owned by Scott Ian and Jerry
Yeah.
Cantrell.
Oh, I actually didn't know. What bar is that?
Dead Man's Touch, I think. I guess the name of it. It's new. It just
Okay,
opened.
it must be new.
Yeah, it's brand new.
That's sick. I don't know. You own it?
Which are there. Hard Rock Bar.
Vegas.
Yeah.
Let's go to Vegas. We're going to Vegas.
Oh, I'll come with you. I'll review your show.
Do they have a venue there? Is it
Yeah, they actually did, from what I've read, they actually have venues where they have live music
at the bar?
at the bar itself.
That's
It's like a dive bar. It's kind of like the whiskey. I don't know if it's pay to play like you would see at Sunset, but I'd say you guys should definitely check it out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'll play
check that
Vegas in a second.
Hell
I would
yeah.
love-
Yeah, we need to
Give me
ban
a reason to go to
anyway.
Vegas.
I would love an excuse to go to Vegas.
Exactly.
We can
Same.
play while we're there.
Same here.
That would be awesome.
Alright.
All right, and when can we expect like the next album that you guys are working on to be done? You got a timetable?
We need an investor.
Don't look at me.
Bastard.
We need a,
Uh,
Soon.
I think we're hoping in the next couple months.
yeah,
To get it
I
out.
think we're hoping by September.
Yeah.
Are you guys self-releasing?
Yeah.
Yes. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Can't
hear
afford
you.
it.
I have. It's funny. I actually just got a message just now. We have somebody that's going to be helping us out with the music video and the actual recording of it and stuff like that. And plan is we're going to be sending it off to Capitol, get mixed and mastered. We're going to go over there and master it with them. But
Capitol Records?
yeah, and yeah. So I mean,
A lot of the music is.
I'd like to say a month, but be real. 2 months, 2-3 months is what we're looking at probably.
So, you're
Released.
so it's more like towards the end of summer, beginning of fall.
Yeah. We always do our best work when it gets colder. So.
We love to
Because
go
you want to
out
work
and
faster.
Yeah.
There's some things we have to perfect. I mean, we have, like I said, a lot of the music is done, but now what we always do is painstakingly go over every little hit,
Yeah.
every little riff, make sure that we're all in time and playing the same way. And, just keep it tight. We gotta tighten it up and be ready to go knock it out in the studio. So.
That's awesome. Well, I have to finish off with this question. You ready?
Go for it.
David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar?
David Lee
David
Roth.
Roth.
Oh, you guys suck.
David Lee Roth's a no-brainer.
I
Walking on the lights up on the stage. Oh man.
Licking the microphone.
about
The split jump off the fucking rise.
Well, let me ask you, have you guys ever seen any of them perform? And have you talk about David and Sammy?
Not
No.
live.
Well,
Never seen Van Halen live.
I can be the one to vouch for this. I saw Sammy play with his new band, Chickenfoot, and then 2 days later I saw Van Halen, and I gotta tell you, Sammy sounds a lot better. He's more shape. David, half the time, is speaking the vocals. He's not doing much. He's just got a slide
Sure,
floor.
now.
He's like spinning
Yeah,
around.
he's like 90 years
But
old.
originally,
Yes.
he was the better actor.
He's got AIDS.
Well,
On the record and live. But
well,
that's just me. I was a big Van Halen. Huge Van Halen.
well, I'll be honest. I personally feel that Sammy's the. I love David. Don't get me wrong. I love the records that he did with Van Halen, but I feel like with Sammy, they went farther with him. They were able to try new things, and they had a big. They got more. They actually went #1 with Sammy. They never went #1 with David.
That's true.
I mean, they didn't even go #1 with the last record, only because they were going against.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, everybody wants to hear "Rolling in the Deep" instead of Tattoo. Honestly.
Dude, Adele's got some pipes.
Oh, there's no denying she's got great pipes, but it's like, oh god, we get it. We get it. You're Aretha Franklin, but British and white. Adele, if you ever hear this, I love you, I respect you. I'm a metalhead, so we have to bash you somewhere. Well, hey, you know what, guys, thank you very much for taking time to talk with me and talk with SR Nation. I guess if you ever want to find out more about Beneath the Barrier, you can always check you guys out on your Facebook, right?
Facebook, Twitter,
Reverberation.
SoundCloud, Bandcamp.
Bandcamp?
I think we have one of those. Yeah, we have a Bandcamp.
And you guys just have a website. You guys just have an official website.
Well, we do have a website. We still do. It's just under construction right now.
Yeah, I did see that. It says my site under construction.
Yeah, it's we're building it for the new record coming out and trying to make it a little cooler than the last one.
Yeah, and be sure to go check out their first EP, their first demo, whichever you want to call it, called 7 Feet. And you be sure to check them out if you're ever in the Orange County area. Be on the lookout for
July
their
20th, House of Blues.
July 20th, House of Blues, Anaheim. Or
Anaheim.
Anaheim.
Free.
Hit us up
Free
on
show.
Facebook if you want a free ticket.
All right, hit me up with a free ticket then.
I got you.
All right, well, guys, thank you very much.
For more information on all the greatest bands in rock today, and for all your music and entertainment news, you know where to go. Go to SRO. That's SROMagInc.com. SRO Magazine is sponsored by Kick-Ass Cables, PhDRadio.com, Robert's Guitar, TDLMusicGroup.com. The SRO audio and video was done by Carson Drive Studios and SROMagInc.com.